This happened less than a month ago, and I still don't know how to explain it. I'm a senior in high school, and I've lived in Nevada my entire life. If you've never been here, it's hard to describe just how empty it can feel. Endless stretches of sand and rock, broken up only by highways and half-forgotten towns that look like they were abandoned mid-breath. There isn't much to do if you're young and restless, which is probably why my friends and I got into urban exploring. We weren't thrill-seekers in the reckless sense. We didn't vandalize or steal. We just liked places that felt forgotten, abandoned buildings, dead malls, sealed-off service tunnels. Places where time had clearly stopped caring. There was something calming about it, like stepping outside the normal flow of the world. The weirdest locations always came from one guy in our group, Charles. Charles was quiet. Not awkward, just observant. The type who listened more than he talked. He had this habit of showing up with places none of us had ever heard of, spots that didn't come up on Google or local forums. Half the time, I didn't even ask where he found them. That was my mistake. One afternoon, Charles sent a screenshot into our group chat. It was from a sketchy Instagram account with barely any followers. The photos were grainy, poorly lit, and all taken in the desert. Mine entrances. Rusted beams. Black holes in the earth. The caption read, "Dozens of abandoned mine shafts in the Mojave Desert, if you know where to look." According to Charles, he'd been demanding the account. Whoever ran it had given him a rough area and a pin drop, nothing specific, just coordinates floating in the middle of nowhere. That was enough for him. So that Saturday, it was just the three of us, me, Charles, and our other friend James. I had a Wrangler built for off-road driving, so we took that. No address. No service. Just a vague location and blind confidence. We turned off the main road almost 30 minutes earlier. The dirt path barely qualified as a road anymore. We drove through endless nothing, no signs, no buildings, no landmarks. Just sand and rock stretching forever. James grew irritated fast. He kept saying Charles had been scammed by some troll account. That we were wasting gas and time. Charles insisted we keep going. Eventually, just as I was about to turn around, James pointed off to the right. At first, it looked like nothing. Then I saw it. A half-collapsed wooden structure embedded into a slope. Broken beams. A dark opening behind them. A mineshaft. Charles didn't say a word. He pulled out his phone, dropped a pin, and looked at James. Told you. Up close, the place looked worse. Older. Unstable. Charles tossed a rock inside. 3 clangs. Then nothing. It wasn't a vertical drop, but the shaft sloped down steeply. Loose dirt. Old wooden supports. The deeper we went, the colder it became. The air was stale, heavy. At the bottom, the tunnel widened and split in several directions. Rusted rails. Buried tools. Dust so thick it coated everything. We weren't down there long before we heard it. A scraping sound. Slow. Deliberate. James signaled for us to turn off our flashlights. We stood in total darkness, listening. The sound came again, closer. Then James accidentally flicked his light. The scraping stopped. A loud metallic clang echoed from deep within the tunnel. Then came the scream. It didn't sound human. We ran. I tripped. Lost a shoe. Splinters tore into my foot as I climbed. By the time we burst into daylight, I couldn't walk. James drove us straight to the hospital. Days later, James insisted on going back, just to the entrance. He'd lost his wallet. We didn't find it. But we did find my shoe. It was torn apart. Bitten. There were teeth marks. I didn't think the desert could scare me again. I was wrong. A few weeks later, my girlfriend Tiki and I went camping deep into the desert for stargazing. Remote. Legal. Quiet. The first 2 nights, we heard distant howls. Low. Long, unsettling. The third night, I woke to footsteps outside the tent. Then a lighter flicked on. A flame waved slowly through the fabric. Then fire. Someone, or something, set our tent ablaze. We barely put it out. Packed up in panic. Got lost in the dark. Then the screaming started. Not one voice. Many. Surrounding us. We found the truck by pure luck and didn't stop driving until we hit a main road. Police were called. Nothing came of it. And that's when I started thinking about my mother. She was born in Mexico. Never talked about her past. Never mentioned her mother. Only ever joked that one side of her family were politicians and the other were crooks. One night as a kid, I caught her whispering a name in Spanish on the phone. R. Almost a year ago, I was driving through Arizona and called her. We talked soccer. Then I saw 2 trucks blocking the road. Men with guns. They took everything. One of them got into my truck. That's when I realized I hadn't hung up the phone. From the speaker, my mother's voice came through, calm, sharp, speaking rapid Spanish. The men froze. One of them said a name. R. The guns lowered. They backed away. My truck was returned. No explanation. My mom told me to keep driving and never stop. I never asked questions. Some places don't forget. And some names still carry power in the desert.